I'm very fascinated by the beauty in melancholy. I think it's a really amazing thing to tap into. When we first arrived, they picked us up pretty much straight after we got off the plane and we drove up to the northwest into the fjords there, just like looking out at this incredible landscape just with my brother, and just like, yeah, it was just so surreal to come from London and then be there within like, I don't know, 5 hours or something in the most. And then, yeah, but it felt like a special to experience that with my brother. It was nice.
Why did you want to shoot the video in Iceland?
I just had this image while I was writing that song of this character walking through this big expanse of like nothingness, like on an alien planet, and Iceland seemed like the perfect environment to do that in. So
we're talking about isolation.
Isolation in a massive, yeah, but in like a huge area, like, yeah, I like that, the kind of juxtaposition of those two things.
There's also a song called Berlin 1.
So I see, I feel, I smell something gracious, something great, I'm good, I'm fine, I'm spell.
That's another nice environment, I would say. Why did you write this song, Berlin?
That was the first track I wrote while I was in Berlin, and I named the project when I was producing it Berlin 1, and then it just stuck like that. A lot of the content of this album, like the original ideas for the songs, I wrote while I was in Berlin at the end of summer in 2020 and that winter as well, November and December.
It sounds like you like to work on concepts or atmospheres as point of starter for a song.
Really, I like to just create a mood with my music. Like that's the main focus whenever I'm creating. It's just to like, I'll have there'll be a feeling, and I can't necessarily completely put it into words, but I'm always just trying to like, you know, put across that mood. And I find when I travel to different places, it really inspires me in that way. Like you just a change of environment and a change of people, and just, yeah.
How would you describe that mood? Is it a situation of happiness?
Not so much. It was quite a heavy mood. Like I wasn't in the best place, so I went to Berlin to try and get a bit of distance from just some personal things going on in London, and also I felt like I needed to be alone for a bit and just really, yeah, just focus on some things that I had not really given time before, and it was during kind of COVID times, so I was able to just sort of switch off from my normal music career for a while.
Isn't it strange that personal issues are your point of starter for a piece of art?
Yeah, I mean, I think for a lot of people, you know, the times of the deepest pain are often the times when the most beautiful art comes out. You see that with everyone, really. I don't know why that is, but I'm very fascinated by the beauty in melancholy. I think it's a really amazing thing to tap into, and a lot of my favorite artists, both visual and sonic, do that.
Your song Channel Your Anger, is it one of those songs that you wrote out of personal issue reasons that you wanted to do this one?
No, this was more outwards looking. This was more about the fact that anger is a very powerful emotion, and it's something that can often make us get into a state where we can't actually act well. But if we are able to channel this, and especially in the time that we're living in now, I mean, all over the world, but especially in the country I live in, like, we need some serious change, and we need people to actually be angry about what's going on.
able to channel your own anger?
I'm working on it. On it. Yeah. It's a note to self. Everything I say in these records is like, you know, a lot of it is things that I'm trying to work on myself as well.
Yeah. Would you use the microphone, being Oscar Jerome, to say on a stage where you stand for?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, I mean, I think the most powerful way you can do it is by putting it in your music, because that's what's going to have the biggest reach, and that's what's going to like stick in people's heads. And like, you know, I do say this, or, you know, I feel like, you know, once you've created a platform, you do have a responsibility. But I also think, you know, people come to me for an escape from all of this stuff that's going on. So they don't necessarily want to come to see me to be reminded of all this day-to-day stuff that they're already worried about.
Forever trying to come in first, you'll end up coming up last. Am I good? Why did you do it? Why don't I love myself? Where is the trust? Falling through the cracks in the pavement.
What is the best place for you to write? Is it at home or is it while traveling?
I was just thinking about this because we were setting up another writing space in this house. There's a small room we were doing that in. I actually like to constantly change the environment with which I'm writing in. I find when I'm in a new place, that's when I'll have ideas. Even if I just bring a small setup and set it, have it somewhere. Like if I'm in the same space too much, it doesn't inspire me. So I just have to switch it up.
Why did you do that? Why don't I love myself? Where is the trust now?